Hello dear students, welcome you all. Today we are starting with our new chapter, that is plant growth and development. So in this we will be talking about how the plant growth occurs and how development occurs. So first we should understand what is the difference between growth and development. So development is written as growth plus differentiation. So development is nothing but a growth plus a differentiation, means whatever the changes are taking place due to the growth and differentiation or formation of non-dividing cells that lead to the particularly change in the shape, size and volume in the organism, that is called a development. First we will be talking about growth, then we will talk about development. So first we focus on the plant growth. So when we talk about plant growth, this plant growth is defined as an irreversible, it is defined as irreversible or permanent increase in mass, weight or volume of cell, organ or organism. It is defined as irreversible increase in mass, weight or volume of a cell, organ or organism. Now this irreversible increase in size, volume or weight is called a apparent growth. It is called a apparent growth. Why it is called as apparent growth? Because it is external visible, or external manifestation of growth. Now it is externally visible, yes, but due to the synthesis of a component within the cell. Okay, so actually really growth is due to the growth is due to synthesis of protoplasm, Now this growth is measurable or quantitative phenomena. Growth is measurable quantitative phenomena, and growth in living beings is intrinsic. So in living organism growth is intrinsic, which is known as intrinsic growth. Okay, next to that, plant growth is diffused. That like of animals only during early embryonic stage. It is diffused only during early embryonic stage. Okay, but later on this plant develops specific areas called meristem for the growth. But later on plant have specific areas for growth named as meristem. named as meristeme. So later on they have a specific area, so now growth is localized. So initially growth was diffuse, later on it became localized. Initially all the cells are dividing, so because of this in plant initially growth is diffuse, but later on the specific region will divide, all the cells will not divide, so this later on the growth become localized. Okay, so this is the sum of the what a plant growth, which type of plant growth is there. Plant growth is quantitative, it is measurable, it is an intrinsic phenomena, it is an irreversible change in the mass, weight or volume of a cell, that all can be considered as a growth. So now by studying this we come to know that which type of growth is found in case of plant. But now when we talk about growth is of two type. So growth is of two type, that is a extrinsic growth and intrinsic growth. Now extrinsic growth is from outside, and in extrinsic growth it is going to occur from the outside, and due to which that is occur in case of non-living, but intrinsic growth occur in case of the living organism. Intrinsic growth occur in case of the living organism. Okay, now if we consider another type of growth, then growth is of two type, that is determinate and indeterminate. Determinate or definite or limited, whereas growth is indeterminate or indefinite or unlimited. Now determinate growth means growth occur up to certain age of an organism, so that is known as definite limited growth, as it occur in case of animals. In animals what happens, growth occurs up to the certain age, then there will be a stoppage of growth. But when we talk about the indeterminate or indefinite or unlimited growth, here growth occur throughout the lifespan of an organism, and when it occurs throughout the lifespan of an organism, that is occur in case of the plants. You know that in case of plants, if we cut any part of the plant, that can be derived again or that can grow again at any age in case of the plant. So this is known as what? Indeterminate growth. So this is the, in plant we find indeterminate or indefinite or unlimited growth, but this is a open form of growth, because this growth continues throughout the life and from the specific areas, that is meristems. Next we are going to talk about phases of growth. Next we are going to talk about phases of growth. Now the dividing or meristematic cell, dividing or meristematic cell pass through three phases during growth. We pass through three phases during growth. First is phase of cell division. Phase of cell division. Second, cell elongation phase. And third, maturation phase. Phase of cell division, elongation phase and maturation phase. Okay, so these are the three phases: phase of cell division, phase of cell elongation and maturation phase. Now when we talk about the first phase, that is a phase of cell division, then in these meristematic cells are located at shoot and root apex. They are thin walled, densely cytoplasmic, show mitotic division, means they are in the state of division, and it represent initial stage of growth. Okay, and in this phase the cells are dividing, they are in a continuous state of division, and the rate of growth is naturally slow during this phase, so it slows down. Second phase is a cell elongation phase. Now in the cell elongation phase, the daughter cells formed by the division of meristematic cells undergo enlargement. Okay, so daughter cells formed by division undergo enlargement. So this enlargement of cell occur due to increased vacuolation and new deposition of wall material, due to which the growth enlargement occurs. It is a period of maximum and rapid growth. It is a period of maximum and rapid growth. It is a period of maximum and rapid growth. So the physiological activities of these cells are at the maximum. That is the second enlargement phase. Third is maturation or stationary phase. Maturation or stationary phase. As the cell enlarges, they gradually acquire permanent shape and form. As cells enlarge, they acquire permanent shape and form. Final phase of growth is usually called maturation. As maturation proceeds, the cell become fully differentiated. the cell become fully differentiated. So the mature cell may be living or dead, depend upon requirement of plant. Depend upon requirement of a plant. So that is a maturation or a stationary phase. So now we have studied that the dividing cell passes through three phases, that is the dividing phase, elongation phase or enlargement phase, and the maturation phase. So if cell is growing in these phases and it is dividing or getting particularly mature, then we have to understand two type of growth here in case of plant, and these two type of growth are arithmetic growth and geometric growth. After studying this growth, we are going to discuss about the growth rate. Now what is first we should understand what is arithmetic growth. It is a type of growth in which rate of growth is constant. In this, rate of growth is constant and increase in growth occur in arithmetic progression. In arithmetic progression like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. If like this growth is occurring, then it is known as arithmetic growth. Now in this arithmetic growth, if we consider, it is found in, if we take an example, this arithmetic growth is found in root and shoot elongating at constant rate. So suppose if we take with respect to time a length or height of a plant, you will find that this type of constant growth is observed. Why? Because in arithmetic growth, when one cell divide, it will give rise to the two, but out of this two cell, one get mature and other keep dividing. Again, when it will give two cells, this one will get mature and this will keep dividing. So at each division, only one cell is going to increase. Like this progression, if is occurring, then it is known as arithmetic growth. Okay, so we can take a height or example of this. Now if we want to express this mathematically, then we can express this by the mathematical, that is equal to L0 plus RT. Now where LT is equal to length after time t, L0 is length at beginning or initial length, and R is growth rate. So when two cells are obtained, one get mature and one keep dividing, this type of growth is known as arithmetic growth. A constant growth will be observed. Examples are root in shoot elongating at a constant rate, and the formula for this is LT is equal to L0 plus RT. Okay, so this is a arithmetic growth. Now next, after arithmetic growth, we are going to discuss a second type of growth, that is geometric growth. Now geometric growth is a growth in which one cell divide and give rise to the two, and these two keep dividing and will go produce a 4. This 4 will divide and produce a 8. Like this, if growth is occurring, then it is known as geometric growth. So it is a growth rate where every cell divide. It's a growth rate where every cell divide, and all daughter grow and divide again. It occur in unicellular microbes. It occur in unicellular microorganism when they are provided with enough space and nutrition. So when enough space and nutrition are provided, then what will happen? Suppose the food is unlimited and enough food is provided. So initially the particular microbes will gain the power to utilize the nutrient, then it will utilize the nutrient and it will divide. But after a certain period of time, the nutrient will get open, the stationary phase will be obtained. So with time, if we talk about a population of microbe or weight of plant organ, then we find this phase, the initial phase, which is known as lag phase, then we find a log phase, and then stationary phase. So this type of curve is obtained in case of particular geometric growth. So such a growth cannot be sustained for a particular long. So in a stationary phase, there is an accumulation of some of the toxins or a shortage of space and nutrients, due to which at the end this become a stationary. So growth slowdowns and may come to stop or even decline. Now this is a S-shaped curve. This is a S-shaped curve which is obtained in case of geometric growth, whereas in case of arithmetic growth, J-shaped curve is obtained. Now in this, if we recapitulate it based on the calculative base, then W1 is equal to W0 e raised to RT is a formula for this weight of the plant part. Now when W1 is equal to W0 e raised to RT, W1 is the final size. W1 is equal to final size or weight or number, whereas W0 is equal to initial size. Then R is growth rate, T is time of growth, and E is base of natural logarithm. Base of natural logarithm. So this is the what particularly occur in case of the geometric and arithmetic growth. In arithmetic growth, there is a constant increase, then one cell get mature and one cell keep dividing, whereas in geometric growth both the cells keep dividing. So after studying this different type of arithmetic and geometric growth, next we talk about the growth rate. So when we study growth rate is defined as increase in growth per unit time. So increase in growth per unit time is defined as a great growth rate. Now if we study this growth rate are also of two types, that is absolute growth rate or actual growth rate, whereas the another one is relative growth rate. So absolute or actual growth rate is there and relative growth rate is there. Now this can be understood by the example of NCERT. And when we talk about absolute growth, it is actual growth obtained by plotting the growth against the time. Okay, so now this can be studied or understood by taking an example of a leaf. Suppose there is a one leaf whose surface area is represented by A, and that is 5 centimeter square. Growth happens and this size of leaf increase and surface area become A dash, that is a 10 centimeter square. But when we take a leaf B that has a surface area, that is B, is equal to 50 centimeter square. Now growth occur in this also and it become B dash, that is 55 centimeter square. Now in both cases you can see that in this the growth actually which is occurred in unit time is 5 centimeter square, and here also it is a 5 centimeter square. So this is actually the absolute growth rate or actual growth rate, that is 5 centimeter square in both leaf. But when I calculate a relative growth rate depend on the initial size. So if we talk about relative growth rate, then it is equal to growth per unit time upon initial size into 100. So growth per unit time is, if we consider for leaf A, then for leaf A the growth per unit time is 5 centimeter square, initial size was 5 into 100. So here the relative growth rate with respect to initial size is 100%. But when we consider for the leaf B, the relative growth per unit time is 5, initial 50 centimeter square and into 100, so it becomes 5 to the 10%. So relative growth rate in second B leaf is less compared to the leaf A. After studying a different type of growth rate, next we discuss three terms, that is differentiation, de-differentiation and re-differentiation. So we are going to discuss these three terms and their example. Suppose any dividing cell is there. Now it is a dividing cell, means it is a meristematic cells. Now suppose if this cell lost a capacity of division, okay, and it become a non-dividing cell, then if the cell loses a division first time and gets specialized or mature and become non-dividing, then this process is known as differentiation. Means differentiation lead to the production of non-dividing cell that will be termed as differentiated cells. Yes or no? The differentiated cell will be obtained. Now this non-dividing cell, which is a differentiated cell, if it loses again a capacity of division and become it again regain the capacity of division, then it is known as de-differentiation. Means de-differentiation will lead to the formation of de-differentiated cell. Okay, and de-differentiated cells are dividing, so we can take an example of interfascicular vascular cambium, which derive from the medullary rays, and cork cambium, which derive from the outer cortex cells in dicot stem, and from pericycle and dicot route, as we have studied in case of the anatomy. So this vascular cambium and cork cambium are the differentiated cells. Now this differentiated cells, if again sometimes in life loses their capacity and become what, a non-dividing, then it is known as a redifferentiation. So redifferentiation will lead to the production of a non-dividing cell, that is known as redifferentiated cell. And this redifferentiated cell are the cell which are obtained from the vascular cambium and cork cambium. From vascular cambium we obtain secondary xylem and secondary phloem. Apart from that, from cork cambium we obtain secondary cortex and cork. So these all are the redifferentiated tissues, and redifferentiation will lead to the production of a non-dividing cells. So we have studied what is differentiation, dedifferentiation and redifferentiation, and the example of dedifferentiation and redifferentiation cell are also studied. Now we discuss some of the example of differentiation. Example of differentiation. First example is enlargement lignocellulosic secondary wall thickening, lignocellulosic secondary walls thickening, and loss of protoplasm in case of tertiary element. So loss of protoplasm, secondary wall thickening, enlargement, that all comes under the example of dedifferentiation. Second is loss of end walls. Loss of end walls in vessel, xylem vessel element. So the xylem vessel become a multicellular structure and perforation plates are formed. Third, loss of nucleus. Loss of nucleus and perforations in situ member. In situ members. Fourth, deposition of suberin and tannin in cell wall. Deposition of suberin and tannins in cells. Fifth is differential wall thickening. Differential wall thickening in guard cell. As you know that in case of guard cell, inner wall are thick and outer wall are thin. That is the differential wall thickening. That is also the example of differentiation. Secretion of mucilage in root cap. That secretion of mucilage is also an example of differentiation. So these are the examples associated with the differentiation, and all the introductory part, all the components of growth, types of growth, differentiation, dedifferentiation and redifferentiation. Now onwards we will be starting with the development part in next lecture.